welcome to BeamNG.drive. Today I'm taking a look at the Daewoo Matiz. The Matiz is a Korean compact hatchback from the late 90s, early 2000, and this is the first version of it. It was a decent vehicle all around, it sold decently well in Italy where I live, but for the game it has a decent enough model, not the highest quality. For example, you can't enable the license plate, I don't know why. Also, you can't open any latches, so for example, if I want to do open latches, nothing opens. On the inside, we have a high quality dash and steering wheel, but for example, the textures of the seats and the door panels are not high quality, are pretty basic. A cool detail of this vehicle is the clock that works. As you can see, it says 1401. Because I'm recording this at 1401, so that's a pretty cool detail of this vehicle. Now, let's see how it drives. This is a small city vehicle. It doesn't have too much power, so you can't expect to do racing with it and win. But with its dimensions, you can go around in the city of Fastello or Castelletto, I don't remember right now, pretty easily. You can see I'm not having any issue because it has incredibly small dimension for a city vehicle. It's even way smaller than the Covet. We are talking about piccolina size, so that's a pretty good city car. You can park it easily all around the city. But of course, as I already said, the power is lacking. You see, I'm not going pretty fast now. If I can exit this labyrinth probably from here, that's a pretty nice drive test, by the way. As you can see, no issues whatsoever with the Matiz. Driving is decent. Of course, it's a front-wheel drive, so at high speeds it can understeer sometimes, but so far I noticed it in few occasions. Like if you go speed city, if you go not fast, you don't have understeer. You have though issues with braking. I don't know why, but for such a small vehicle the brakes seems underpowered. I don't know why, if it's only me braking bad or the brakes are underdimensioned for such a small vehicle. So as you can see, I'm going at 100 km per hour downhill. That's a huge advantage because uphill I can only dream of those speeds. You see, the brakes sometimes are good. You have to be early on the brakes, of course, otherwise you smash it. It's all with all vehicles, but it is a bit more because such tiny wheels, such not slow, such small brakes, you can have surprise under braking and you smash into a barrier, and that's not ideal. You see, the handling it's not an issue, let's say like that, but it seems like when you do tight cornering, the inside the rear wheel looks like it lifts. It doesn't. You have to be, you can be safe in this vehicle. It doesn't want to tip, so that's also a pretty stable vehicle. But of course, if you want to do a tight corner at high speeds, you can only dream of that. And I think now this vehicle, the only thing it needs is a crash. Now let's jump. Oh, I thought there was a leap. It's ideal. Now, okay, I see what I want to do between these trees and then down. That wasn't. Oh, okay, I'm still on the wheels. Okay, that's a better impact. Nice. And let's see, finally on the barriers and the trees. And will it come to a stop on its wheels? No. Okay, now let's put it back and let's see the damage. The damage is okay, the controller disconnected. Let's use the keyboard. The damage is decent. Of course, it doesn't have hinges, so opening the doors and the trunk and the hood, it can be quite difficult. Overall, the 3D damage model is pretty fine. Of course, the glass, apart from the windshield, isn't there, but I think overall pretty decent damage model. This vehicle comes with 15 configurations, and almost all of them are just a city car. You don't have enough power, like don't get fooled by the livery of the NYPD, Policia, Russian police, because these vehicles are as slow as the stock configuration, so it's just a skin. However, you have some varieties, like for example 3 police configuration, a camber model, some stock and city vehicles, a taxi, a student livery, the test mule, a workhorse, that's just smaller aesthetical details, the vandalized, I think it's kinda useless, you already have the rust, but it's nice to have variety. And then we have the rally and the race configurations. Now, the rally is the understeer in the form of a vehicle. You always understeer, that's not even funny. The race, however, it's pretty good. Overall, from this vehicle you have some variety, but not fast vehicles, a lot of understeer, and I think the only viable configuration are the stock, because it's a city vehicle and you can play around with it, and the race configuration. And now I'm testing the Daewoo Matiz race configuration still in Castelletto. This time I checked the name of this part of the map, because this is the best condition for this vehicle, for this configuration. Tight corners, tight roads, and not a lot of speed and open corners, because this suffers from understeer as well, even with the slick tires. The problem is enlarged, I can use that word, yes, by the suspensions, because in this case they are a lot stiffer compared to the stock configurations, and if the surface isn't even, if you have some bumps here and there, this vehicle bounces around a lot and you lose a lot of grip. Oh! Okay, that was not expected, but its best environment is probably some kind of obstacle course with not a lot of high speeds. Like for example, running around this city, this vehicle is perfect. It's small, it's nimble at slow speeds. You can abuse the handbrake turn to have a lot of fun. For example, in these like gymkhana styles of tracks. Now, I don't know where I'm going, I just want to crash, so now let's see if these roads bring me somewhere. Oh! Yo, you also have to pay attention to the grip roll. If you, for example, hit the inside curb, it can easily flip over, so I flip 2 times. And now I will show probably the understeer, its understeer phase. Of course not, because this time the brakes were on point, maybe even early. As you can see, I'm going 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, there is straight and a U-turn, so I'm not able to showcase what I was talking about. And here, for example, 90 kilometers per hour with slick tires, it went straight. Maybe that was also a driver issue, but I think the car doesn't help on that side. For the damage, it's overall decent. Not the best quality, but I think it's funny to have such a vehicle inside the game. The final test, of course, is going to be the descent, and for it I'm using the test mule configuration, because it has a unique paint job, the paint job that you use on prototype vehicles to go around the road for the first time, and I think it's pretty interesting, because it's the only vehicle that has this kind of paint job. And now let's destroy it and see if we can identify the damage. Now, I want a fast somersaulting, and that's perfect, because I want big impacts. Let's see if I can open the doors, and this is... oh! Okay. Okay, let's turn off the engine, because it's loud, and it did incredibly high speeds somersaulting, and today I want to use the somersault word, and I got grabbed by a cube, and that was instant death. Look at it's flattened the roof. The doors still aren't opened, except maybe for the driver's side. The hood exploded in the distance, is probably down the ramp. I think overall it's a decent damage model. We don't have triangles and wobbling all around, maybe something a bit on the bumper, but that's a minor issue. So it's a simple 3D model, but at least it's well done. Anyway, I think that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Oh, I just noticed the driver got decapitated.